Hey, my name is Raymond of Ray du Monde and the BarefootPreneur at gmail.com. And I'm here basically running, well, I've taken a break now, but running with my dog, well, what looks more like a shorn sheep over there because we've had to actually give him a haircut because he was just completely matted beyond belief. Not just dreadlocks, but I mean like clumps. And a bit miserable, but now that it's super hot and this beautiful sunny day, I'm sure he's quite happy with it, even though he was a little crestfallen afterwards. But here I am out here in the lovely woods above London, running around, enjoying the beautiful weather. And basically just as I was, out here just, communing with nature, if you will, but have a beautiful, lovely time in the wide outdoors and the beautiful surroundings and the greenery and so forth. After basically, sometimes living in the city is a bit of a concrete jungle. This really feeds me, and it's that soul food that really gets me going. But I couldn't help but just stop and want to share this moment with you. But it's a case of doing those things that really feed you, and those things that really empower you and enable you to do the things that you want. And I want to share with you a kind of a way of doing things with the new technologies of the day, effectively leveraging the power of the internet, the reach of the World Wide Web, and basically the technology that does effectively all the heavy lifting for you, that would enable you to have a top flight business that would afford you the quality, time, and freedom that you not only deserve, but have dreamt of or know that you ought to have and have wanted for a long time. I mean, many of us, and I've done it, have been shackled to the 40-plus hour work week, or the cubicle land, or the corporate world, or whatever the 9 to 5. Now, there's nothing wrong with having those, that type of level of commitment of work, the JOB. But generally speaking, the average income, just so you know, of annual income in the UK, London aside, is just above 20, maybe £22,000 a year. Now, London is about 24, maybe at a stretch 25. Now, that's the average. And then all of a sudden it just spikes after you hit a demographic of the population. It just starts getting to 40, 50, 60 and plus. But there's a huge gap and a divide, and it's getting forever bigger. And, the opportunities and the certainty and the stability of the economy are not there as we know them, as we once used to think they were. I mean, it may have all be an illusion, but it seemed to me that life has gotten a little bit more frenetic, and it just basically just is it's just gotten more busy and more insane, it seems. Sorry, I'm tapping around. Things are popping up all around my tablet. But the thing is, that's it. The technology. I mean, here I am in the wide open, in the outdoors, in this beautiful landscape, in this forest, if you will, and I'm videotaping a kind of a conversation or ideas, basically a verbal share with you, using today's technology, and then I get to plug that in and share that with you, as opposed to just me hitting phones or me hitting the street and going door to door and all that kind of stuff, which is most people really don't really appreciate, or that getting hit up by those cheggers, charity beggars that are hitting you up for money all the time. They all have good causes, but I don't necessarily agree with how they do it. Why? Because it's invasive. The beauty of this is that I hope that I can add some value to you, but if you so choose that there's nothing here for you, is that you just pause it, turn it off, go somewhere else. I mean, that's the beauty of the internet. But I do have something of value to share with you, and what's really empowered and enabled me is the fact is that I've stumbled over, or I've come into contact with a fantastic community of online entrepreneurs that are basically just leveraging the reach and the power of the internet, leveraging the reach of the World Wide Web that works 24/7, that even while you sleep, and has systems in place, has support in place, has a community in place, are actively engaged with each other, that are basically enabling themselves, who've made the decision that they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. They know that there's better out there. They know that they can't depend on a lot of the so-called leaders out there to improve the situation for us. That the economy is built on a house of cards. But effectively is that they're not able to do or add value in ways of what's true to themselves. They may be adding value to somebody else, and then they get to go off and have the free time and the beautiful holidays and live in the big houses and spoil their families and retire their parents and do whatever it is that they do, where the rest of the ones are the actual ones making their dreams come true as opposed to their own. Now, I'm not suggesting, quit your job without having something in place, but I am suggesting that there are other ways of doing things that you can possibly align yourself with, or work alongside with, or get running and until get yourself walking until you can run, and then when you're in a position you can let go. I mean, I have friends of mine, and I've been there, where I've had to work 2-3 jobs, no free time, no quality time, just absolutely shattered, and then at the end of the day, looking, getting the paycheck and looking at it and going, all that for this, and not being pleased, and then still having too much month at the end of the paycheck. It grates against me that's what's going on out there, and it seems to be getting worse and worse. The gap between the well-to-dos and the not-so-well-to-dos is just increasing. The middle class has gotten squeezed even more, and it seems that people are sliding more and more down into poverty, and the same few are getting more and more well off. But to get a piece or a sliver or even just a nugget of that pie, there's no reason why we shouldn't, and there's no reason why we don't deserve it, and you can. So please, get connected through myself to this community, through the very enterprising group of people that have shown and proven and continue to do, including myself, of where you leverage proven systems and ways of doing things in a manner that is true to the lifestyle of the day, which is has the technology but also has the freedom attached to it, that one is able to then also go work anywhere in the world as long as there is an internet. But you could laptop it on the beach, or you could laptop it in a cafe. I mean, we all know that some people are doing flex time, hot desking all around. If it's not S-Bucks or some cafe around, it's in their back garden. But they're able to go and walk their kids to school as opposed to kiss them goodbye as they tear out the door to commute off to their office job, and they happen to have to get up at 5 or 6 in the morning to get there on time, squashed in like a sardine in a tin, along with everybody else, is with your head kind of snuggled into someone's armpit. I mean, it's just not particularly the way to do things, and then to have to repeat that and do it all over again. I mean, there are two places that we spend the most of our time in our lives. It's at work and asleep. And, if you're going to, I love sleep, but if you're going to be at work where the majority of your time, why not just, do it and with the people, as well as, in a place that you really enjoy, that affords you the time and space, freedom to be with your family, to do the things you want, to develop those hobbies and ideas and crafts and passions that you've had to put on the shelf because by the time you get home you're shattered, or once again kissing your child goodnight and you barely get to see them. It's these are the things that many of us complain about, but there are solutions with which to get away from those challenging times and challenging ways of doing things. And I urge you, I recommend, I advise, I encourage you to get connected. So click on the link below, and tap into the top tier wealth building, business enterprising systems, and set yourself free. Take your shoes off, get your feet on the ground, wiggle your toes in the grass, and just feel freedom that you are entitled in whatever way you want to do it. I love to be barefoot, so here I am doing it. I'm about to go back and run with my dog. He's kind of looking at me going, okay, what are you up to? But it's time. It's your time. It's our time. It's time to basically take our lives back, and in doing so, we will take the rest of improve the world as we know it. And I think that once we're able to do that, it's not about being selfish. It's not about being just capitalistic. It's not about being market driven. It's not about business. It's not about money. It's about enablement, about being empowered. It's about feeling free. It's about being able to afford the things in a manner that you that you not that you're entitled to, but you really ought to be able to have and live. We live within a particular framework matrix that we have. We need to shift it, and in order to do that, we need to be more well positioned and be able to leverage what already is in place in a manner that's better than it has been done. So on that note, I got to go. Blast the sunshine and take care of yourself. So I'm Raymond, Ray du Monde, at the BarefootPreneur@gmail.com. So tap into my toptierbusiness.com, click the link below, and get engaged. You know, heck, trial it if you want. Check it out. Give it a run, like test driving a car. You know, see that it's a good fit for you. And, you know, hey, if it isn't, no harm, no foul, no problem. But if it is, that's where the magic happens. But you're never going to know unless you make that decision, you commit to it, you take action, and you follow through, and you keep on going like your life depended on it. Because you know what? It does. So that's me, Ray. Peace, love, and I'm going. Take care. Cheers. Bye.